Welcome back to the Love to Mom podcast. I am your host, Jerry, and as always, I'm joined by my flamboyant mother, Christi.
Oh, okay. Now I like that one. That one is really good. That fits me. Although I'm flamboyant in a different way, but
Yeah.
I am flamboyant for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like I don't blend into a crowd sometimes. I like bright things and I like being silly and funny.
Yeah, your earphones.
Oh yeah. This is a perfect example. Yes, I love bright things. Love bright clothes and having a good time.
But you're not a drag
That's
queen.
flamboyant, right? I'm not a drag queen, no.
Okay.
No, but I have. When I was younger and my sister and I would do videos all the time, I always had to be the boy. So there were lots of times where I had on like a man wig. I played Aladdin on our kitchen table with the fan. We put a blanket on the top of the kitchen table and she was Jasmine and she had this beautiful long hair. And so she's like, well, you could be Aladdin. And so we had a boy wig. And so I put on the boy wig and we did a whole new world. We pretended like we were on magic carpet. We had a fan blowing so that the blanket was floating in the wind.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I think I
Have I ever shown you that?
I think
Yeah,
so.
that's pretty good. So anyway, I guess I have. I have done drag. Thank you.
Oh, well, very good. My adjective
Yeah.
works both ways then.
Works great. Yeah.
But we are talking about the hit 1994. I was going to say classic, but I don't really know. This isn't one that people really talk about a whole lot, which I think is a little bit odd. But we're talking
Yeah.
about the Birdcage.
Yes.
A Mike Nichols joint. At this point, it's our third Mike Nichols movie.
So I know Working Girl. What was the other one?
I would have to look at our episodes, but I'm pretty sure we did another one.
Don't look at my star rating on that screenshot if you're or on our spreadsheet if you're looking at my spreadsheet.
I'm not looking at the spread. Is regarding Henry Mike Nichols?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the
Yes. Okay.
So this is Mike Nichols number 3.
Yeah.
He's probably most known for doing The Graduate, but
Mm-hmm.
he has a lot of hits under his belt, and this is one of them, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is your pick. So
It is.
I was a little bit curious. I think you may have briefly brought it up last episode, but refresh us. Why did you pick Birdcage?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. Do you remember? I don't remember how I was thinking about.
I don't either.
I don't either.
It was something to do. I remember your segue into it was like, you're like, Jimmy Stewart is like a really nice guy. And so we're going to do another like just nice guy, and it's Robin Williams.
Okay. Yeah, this just off the dome here. It is a movie that I feel like I see clips of it quite often. And I don't really know where or why, but it does seem like something that I either hear referenced or I'll see short clips of things, maybe on social media or something. And I'm like, I never saw that. I have always wanted to see it.
Oh.
I just never got to it. And I love Robin Williams. Gene Hackman in a funny role kind of makes me smile because I'm used to him doing more serious things.
Sure.
Hank Azaria, I think, is a riot.
Yeah.
And I love Nathan Lane. So it's got a lot of people in it that I really, really like. And I just remember people loving it when it came out. And I don't know how I missed it, but I did. So, yeah, I don't remember how I decided that this was the week to do it. But yeah, I that's kind of the story behind it. I didn't really know much about it. So I was definitely going in cold. And I was a little worried about like how tone and things have changed over the last, what would that be, 2 decades? Yeah. 20 years is it 30?
94.
Oh my gosh. Every time it kills me. It's like a stab in my heart. Yeah. So you think, well, the conversation around the gay community has really changed. The words that we use, words that are acceptable versus not acceptable, like some stereotypical stereotype stuff. So I feel like this could be a tricky conversation to have, but I think I think what I would like to say heading into it is like, um, is I don't know. It just feels like it's going to be a delicate dance. I'm a little nervous, not nervous because I have anything at all against the gay community. I'm just worried about like, I don't want to say anything that would be remotely offensive. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just in conversation or, I just want people to know I have the best of intentions here. I just want to preface that I'm not a homophobe. I
Sure.
just need people to know that like, I don't know, this is a delicate conversation because it was so over the top. There were a lot of things that have, that I don't know that you could get away with now that were in this movie. I don't know. Maybe you
Maybe.
could.
I don't know. I think we're kind of coming at this from two different angles
Hmm.
because I really just want to talk about how this movie does representation really, really well.
Yeah.
Because like the whole time I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is like 2000s. Like that was like it kind of makes sense for a movie like this to come out in like 2002 or
Sure.
something. Where like the attitudes had definitely like shifted a bit.
Hmm.
But then when I saw it came out in the early 90s, I was like, wow, okay, that's really, really impressive that a
Hmm.
movie is able to like approach this subject without making like all of the characters stereotypes.
Right.
Um, which I mean, like, I guess you could maybe say some of the stuff that Albert is like
Mhm.
maybe a little bit, but also
Sure.
like that feels like a real person. It doesn't feel like
Mm.
that Mike Nichols never met a gay person before and just like kind
Right.
of knew the mannerisms and stuff from late night or whatever. Like
Hmm.
you can tell that like these are real people who have like motivations that make sense.
Yeah.
Except for the son who sucks.
Boy,
He's the
does he
worst
ever.
guy in the whole world.
He's the worst. I saw this thing that said Gene Hackman. Somebody said Gene Hackman was supposed to be the villain, but I argue that yes, I mean he's homophobic and he's a racist and he's all of these things, but
Is bad.
his son treated him worse
Oh,
than the
absolutely.
guy. Yeah, so I mean that's a very good point. I was so infuriated by that son character. That
Yeah.
was awful. Like you could see the heartbreak on Robin Williams' face. I was like,
And Alberts.
and Albert. But I think especially there was a specific scene where there's a glint. He catches the eye of his son, and there's a facial expression that he makes, and it's just very quick and in passing. And that it's the scene where he says, I don't want you to talk to me for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And it's right before that line where they kind of spot each other and he makes eye contact. There's this look on his face that is like so heartbreaking. And it's just a moment. And I also have to say that I think it's really, I'll say this Robin Williams was originally cast in the Albert role.
Sure. I can see
And
that.
Steve Martin was cast as Armand.
I don't know about that.
I've got so many casting things for you on this one too.
Okay.
But Steve Martin backed out for some reason, and I don't remember what the reason was. And Steve Martin regretted it because he never did get a chance to make a movie with Robin Williams.
Mm.
And they were good friends. He felt like that was an opportunity missed. But when Steve Martin backed out, Robin Williams was like, I would like the Armand role. I feel like I've already done because of Mrs. Doubtfire, he wanted to do the more subtle role, which I
Sure.
enjoyed him in that role. It was
He's
very
great.
interesting to me the way he acted that role. It was so subtle for what you would think of as a Robin Williams role, other than like
Absolutely.
a straight up drama. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that Robin Williams doesn't get enough credit for.
Hmm.
Because like I'm also coming into this like Robin Williams, like I think I said this in the last episode, but Robin Williams is like my hero. Like
Hmm.
I genuinely have so much respect for this man. And so like I am a little bit disappointed in the general like film hobbyist like scene, and that I
Hmm.
think in general like the general consensus I hear from people is Robin Williams very funny, not a very good actor. or like
Mm.
not as good an actor as he is a comedian or something along those lines.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm like, I don't know where you guys are getting your information because
Yeah.
he's a stellar actor. Whether it's serious or funny, he does them
Mhm.
both really, really well.
Mhm.
Like I can point to like Awakenings or Goodwill Hunting or now this, where he's like trying to like it's a serious role and it's so g dang believable because he's
Mhm.
charismatic that like he can really make any role work. And
Yeah.
he's really good at the subtle stuff, like you're saying, where it's
Mhm.
just like little glances or like just the way that he says lines is like
Mhm.
amazing. It's so good.
Yeah. His facial expressions will break your heart.
Yeah.
Like there were numerous times in this movie, the ways that he looked at Albert, the way he looked at his son.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. What an amazingly, I think the more I think about it, that character is very complex
Yeah.
because he's trying to, um, maintain this relationship with his son at the expense of who he is. And that there's that scene where he said, I spent 20 years
Yeah.
trying to figure out who I am. Like that whole conversation was just heartbreaking. And I think if I was that son, how would you ask him to do that?
No.
Like,
That's what I'm
ugh,
saying.
it was awful. I'm like, you're breaking his heart, man. Can't you see his face?
I
Yeah.
know. And then like when Albert like comes in at the end and then the son is like, he's ruining everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, let him help. Like
Yeah.
that's what this should be.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
he
And the way that he did it, like he won that, the Armand character won Senator Kelsey Keeley,
yeah,
Senator Keeley over. And it was because he
or Albert
was
did.
so over the top. Albert was so over the top and
Yeah.
like, he went above and beyond. Definitely, you know,
Well, he's a performer.
some of that stuff in there was so hilarious. I was like, oh my gosh, I should not be laughing at this, but those slams against conservatives about killed me. It was so funny.
Where it was like, we shouldn't be killing abortion doctors. We should be killing mothers.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose the fetus anyway, but you would have lost the fetus, if oh geez. I mean, it was stuff like that. That was killing me. Like he was just so over the top in the things he was saying. And Gene Hackman's like,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Oh man. So good. Oh, we should give a synopsis. I jumped right in.
Well, that's okay.
I just finished this movie right before I got on here with you. And I had to split it into two.
Mm.
So I just watched the last 30 minutes. So just pretty much like when the
Okay.
dinner scene started through the end of the movie.
Sure.
But anyway, yeah. Do you want to do a synopsis or
Sure, I
do you want me
can.
to? Go ahead. You go for it.
Okay, so just a general synopsis for those who have not seen it. First of all, you should go watch it before watching the rest of this because we spoil everything. I put that in the description of
Mm-hmm.
all of these podcasts. I also have a link
Mm-hmm.
to the Just Watch page for all the movies that we do in the description. So I
Oh,
try to
nice.
make it as accessible as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But general synopsis is that Robin Williams' character Armand owns a drag club in South Beach, Florida, called the Birdcage, in which his partner is the like main star. I think
Mm-hmm.
when Albert goes in like drag mode, it's Starina, if that sounds
Right.
right.
That's right.
Um, and so like that's kind of been established. They have this relationship and it's been going strong for a long time. But one night, his son or Armand's son shows up and
Mm-hmm.
says, "Hey, I'm going to be marrying a girl." And he's 20 and she's 18, which is crazy. But
Yes.
they decide they decide to get married, and so the like big crux of the movie is that her family is coming over, and her family, her dad is a like super conservative senator
Yes.
It was like he was the co-founder of like the board of
I
Moral
I wrote
Upright.
it down.
Yeah,
It's the coalition. Hold on here. The co-founder of the Coalition for Moral Order.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like that's I mean that sounds like a fascist thing. Like
sure does. I mean, this movie is very prescient. I'm kind of crazy.
yeah, it's a little bit scary, but
Yeah.
yeah, so Marjorie Taylor Greene and her family are coming over to the birdcage to meet um to meet
That's great.
Robin Williams and his partner who is I don't know exactly what terminology to use
Yeah,
for
I don't
Albert
know.
because they use both. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Um
Well, he calls him his. Well, the son called him his mother.
true. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and see, that's some of the stuff where I'm like, I don't know. The trans community, there's a whole different language around all of that now, and so it's like I don't want to say something that's offensive to someone when trying to describe this, but sometimes it's so tricky because it's such a fluid scale, a spectrum of things. It's hard to know.
Yeah, and it's
But
also a little bit difficult just because terminology has changed a whole lot since
yeah,
then.
it
So
has.
it's like I don't think like they pronouns were even really a thing. Like
No.
um or at least they don't even bring them up. But like
Mm-mm.
Albert goes like some people on the street use he him, but then
Hmm.
like I think the son uses she her, but also Armand uses both where he's like
Mm.
uses she pronouns, but then like in the beginning he explicitly says like, well, you're a man. So
Is
like
it
I don't
only
know.
when he's in drag that he uses she pronouns?
That's what it
I don't know. See,
usually is
that's
right now.
right. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if that's how it was used in the movie either.
I don't remember.
Where when Nathan was in drag, if it was, then they used she pronouns. I don't really know. Okay,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know either.
Sorry.
But I mean that's the crux of it. So
Yeah.
the movie for like the first two acts is like trying to change everything about these characters that are just living their lives to appease uh Lauren Boebert and
Yes.
I'm, I'm just gonna keep this going until I run out of racist
Yeah.
senators.
Yeah. Keep going. No, you
Um
got plenty to choose from.
yeah.
You can use a president too if you want.
We'll see if it gets there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what the movie is. And there's
Hmm.
twists and turns and all sorts of fun shenanigans along the way,
Yes.
but we'll talk about that.
Yes.
So, yeah, talked a little bit about representation.
Yeah.
And this is something that you brought up, I think, in the last episode with the Oprah interview, because this
Yeah.
was coming out uh, before Nathan Lane was out, who is
Yes.
an openly gay man now, but wasn't at the time. And I like did some research on like what was going on in gay representation at this time,
Oh, great.
which was also like crazy to me, like more reinforced how crazy it is that this movie was made and
Mm.
is like holds up as well as it does.
Hmm.
Because like if we're talking on like cultural touch points, like Rush Limbaugh like retired his AIDS update thing like 2 years before. Are
Mm.
you aware of that? That might
No, I
that
mean, I knew who Rush Limbaugh was, and he was referenced even in the
he
movie,
was. Yeah.
which I was like, I actually took a note on that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the peak of Rush Limbaugh season. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, but I think this is maybe one of the most despicable things ever recorded in human history. Is
okay, I
is
don't know this part.
is this specific segment that Rush Limbaugh did? This was in the late '80s, early '90s, right as we are like. I mean, the AIDS epidemic had been acknowledged at that point, but people were still dying.
Hmm.
Rush Limbaugh for years, from the late 80s into the early 90s, he did this thing called AIDS Update, where he would read the names of dead gay men who died from AIDS while like Another One Bites the Dust or like Celebration would
Oh,
be playing in the background.
Oh,
I'm saying like
that's awful.
that's what I'm like. This is maybe the worst thing that any human has done on tape.
That is so terrible.
Like,
I did not know that.
yeah. Well,
Wow.
that's why like we've talked about Rush Limbaugh, not on the show,
Mm.
but in person, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, he's the worst guy ever. Because that one thing, I'm like, I don't know. Like, you can't celebrate people
Mm-mm.
dying like that from an
Mm-mm.
from an epidemic. It's crazy.
It
Um,
makes me think of Alex Jones and
yeah,
like the school shootings, like similar vibe.
similar.
Not great.
Yeah, but Alex Jones wasn't celebrating that the school shooting happened.
No, he's denying it
He's
and saying
denied.
that they're
Yeah,
liars. And yeah. So,
it's
yeah, I mean, it's a different tone, but it's
yeah.
the same. It's like it's despicable. Like
Oh
both of
yeah,
those things are just despicable.
it's bad.
So, anyway, yeah, go
But
ahead.
I also wanted to say that so this happened 2 years after he officially retired that segment of his
Mm,
show. I think even like he said later that he like deeply regretted it, but he did it for 5 years. You do things once and maybe
yeah.
it's something you regret, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
this movie came out uh 4 years before Ellen's show got canceled. So
Yeah.
that was like when I saw that, I'm like, well, that's kind of crazy because
Mm-hmm.
this movie is openly about gay characters. They aren't
Mm-hmm.
hiding it. Well, the plot is kind of about hiding it, but like the resolution is like, screw that. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
hiding anymore. Like, kind of owning that,
Right.
which is really, really great to see.
Mm-hmm.
But culturally, society wasn't ready for that because someone tried to do that and she got her show canceled because of it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Mm-hmm.
I was like looking at all that. I'm like, this movie like is so impressive. Um, and I like really, really appreciate that. And like
Yeah.
maybe some of the like, choice words I'll say, I'm like more
Mm-hmm.
willing to let slide because like nobody was doing this
Mm-hmm.
on this level with this level of talent. It's crazy. Um,
Right.
so like I have nothing but respect for Mike Nichols and everyone
Mm-hmm.
involved in this. Um,
Yeah, I agree. I think it is really interesting too when you think about if there were gay characters in, I'm thinking of, pop culture. It was all about AIDS. It was very
oh sure,
sad.
yeah,
This movie is a celebration. I mean, you do have random films throughout. Like I'm thinking of Cabaret and some different things
yeah,
where, but this one is like joy, but also it was so over the top that you could tell it was so subversive.
yes,
Like sometimes you're watching this, you're like, oh, this is like, if they were doing this seriously, it would be so offensive. But you can
sure,
tell it's so tongue in cheek and so over the top that
yes,
you're like, you've taken it so far around that it's now like in your face and you're making a point and it's a great point.
yeah,
And then you have the Gene Hackman character that's like just so horrible.
yeah,
Like his partner, this guy, is like having an affair, or he got busted with an underage prostitute
yeah,
or underage, I guess sex worker is the word we would use today. But it's like they showed that video of the girl, and I was like, are you kidding me right now? I mean, that was not like I'm a 17-year-old,
no,
or
no,
whatever,
it's like Jodie
This was
Foster,
like, holy cow, when they put her face up, and I was like, of course I'm thinking Epstein files.
sure,
Like that felt very like I don't know, that felt a little on the nose for the moment.
yeah,
But the way that it was, the way that it was addressed, and then the words, of course. But also that we are trying to get from the very beginning of this movie that this guy really has no moral compass. This guy who has started the Coalition for Moral Order has no morality. He is only worried about how this is going to affect him.
yeah.
Oh, this was funny. The scene where he's climbing out the window and he
He does the Nixon.
does the Nixon thing.
Hmm.
Nixon hated Gene Hackman.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
why is
Yeah.
that?
I can't remember now.
Oh,
But it said that he didn't like him, and so he did that and like as a thing to Nixon.
that's
I'll have to.
nice.
I thought it said something about a list, but did Richard Nixon have lists?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. But yes, okay. Um, so anyway, yeah, I mean, like the level the this despicable character is like what he's worried about when you have this child that has been
Yeah.
and the
Oh
words,
yeah. Oh
those
yeah.
words. Don't
Hmm.
like it.
Yeah.
That's where like you open with that and it's like, what am I getting into? This is not going to be good.
Well, yeah. I think
This is not going to age.
it's also like super telling, and this is also like kind of prescient. I brought up Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she's facing all this backlash for like turning her back on the Trump camp. Where
Right.
like at the beginning, before that happens, we're like introduced to Gene Hackman's character, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't like." Who's the other politician? Like these '90s politicians, I don't remember their
Oh,
names.
there were Bob Dole
That was
references. There
it.
were Bush
Yeah, they
references.
referenced Jeb Bush. I'm like, oh, I didn't know.
Yep. He was the governor of Florida.
Okay, I guess that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
I picture him as the guy who like face planted in the 2016 presidential election.
Yeah. The whole reference to the Bush family, you think, okay, well, George Bush the senior would have just left office.
Yeah.
Clinton was in office when this came out. So the references to the Bush family, knowing that George would be running here shortly as well, it's kind of interesting. But they named Jeb of all the
I
Bushes that
know.
you could talk about. It was Jeb.
And they keep
Anyway.
bringing up Jeb Bush too. They're like, "Oh, we're staying
Yeah.
with the Bushes, the Jeb Bushes."
Uh-huh.
Like you really have to
Yes.
clarify.
Yes. Oh,
But
shoot.
I
Anyway.
thought that was funny because getting back to what I was saying is that like when we're
Mhm.
introduced to that guy's character, he's like, "I'm so glad I
Mhm.
didn't end up teaming with Bob Dole. He's too dark. He's also too liberal, but he's too dark." Um,
And Rush Limbaugh. No, Billy Graham was too liberal too. That
Billy
was
Graham
funny.
was too liberal.
I thought that was hilarious.
And he was like, "I'm really glad that I stuck with this guy who's going to sleep with an underage prostitute." Um,
Yeah.
and then, like, I don't know if you caught this, but it's like while they're still at their house, but they're like
Hmm.
trying to strategize. And like his like campaign manager says, like, "Oh, Bob Dole said something, like, said no to one of your things." And I'm like, so he tried reaching out to the guy who he just said is too liberal and too dark just to get out of this situation.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, that's kind of genius.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I there was a lot of things in there, like just from the very beginning. It was there were no holds barred on any
Oh
of
no,
that.
no.
They were ruthless. I just looked up the Gene Hackman Richard Nixon situation,
Yeah.
and Richard Nixon had an enemies list.
Oh.
And it was people who like disagreed with his political stances and his
Oh.
activities, and Gene Hackman disagreed with them, and so he was on Richard Nixon's enemies list. And so when he did this, it was like kind
Oh.
of a screw you in the movie because he's playing this horrible person,
Right.
horrible conservative person.
Well, have we
Anyway,
ruled out Nixon and the mysterious death of Gene Hackman?
I know that makes me sad. I
Yeah.
kind of thought about that when I was watching the movie. Poor Gene Hackman.
I think that has been solved at this point,
Has
right?
it?
I
I thought
don't
it was
know.
something like, I don't even know what they ended up with on that.
I don't know
I
either.
didn't think it was nefarious,
No.
but I thought it was like one of them died and then the other one, the spouse, I think
Oh.
Gene Hackman died first, if I remember right.
Yeah, he did. So, wow, he was 95. Okay. Gene Hackman died of natural causes February 2025. His death was attributed to heart disease and Alzheimer's.
Mm.
And then approximately a week later, his wife died from hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. So
What's that?
I don't.
Did she, but
Oh
she left
wait,
his body.
no, she died first.
She did?
Yeah, she died, and then 1 week later, he
Oh.
died.
Oh. I wonder if they had, I mean, they must not have had a caretaker, or they would have found them earlier because they were both still in the house.
Yeah.
So he lived in the house for a week with her dead.
Yeah, and that's something like just looking at this, they're like they may not have known, like he may not have known that she was dead because of the
Mm-hmm.
Alzheimer's, because it was
Oh,
pretty far along.
that's so sad.
It is sad.
That's really sad. I really enjoyed him in this role. I
Yeah,
mean, he was despicable, but he lit up in the scenes, those dinner scenes. I
absolutely.
enjoyed him so much.
Oh, he's hamming
And
it up.
I didn't want to enjoy him, but I did.
He's
I
doing what he
loved
do.
one of my favorite scenes was when they were all singing together. I could have danced all night, and they're all
Oh yeah.
like they're sitting at the piano and they're playing, and Mrs. Keeley, Louise, I think was her name, and Armand are sitting at the piano, and then you've got Albert and Senator dancing, and then Hank Azaria like whips those doors open and finishes that song, and I was like, Hank, oh, what a treasure.
No.
So great. Well,
Oh.
he said he wasn't sure how far to take that role. He was kind of thinking, oh, I need to like talk with a lower voice, and because he said I don't want to offend anyone,
Yeah.
whatever. But then he went and talked to some of his gay friends, and they were like, oh no, you need to. We know people like you.
Oh
You
yeah.
need to like really do it up. And I so enjoyed him. He did such a great job with it.
He's so
And
much fun.
apparently, he took that character and did a couple episodes of The Simpsons in that character as well.
Oh, I could see
Because
that.
he does a bunch of voices on The
Oh
Simpsons. He's
yeah.
been nominated for 1 million Emmys.
Yeah. He's like
Um,
man, I just looked it up. I'm gonna have to go back to his IMDb because he's been in like over 300 episodes. Oh,
mm.
that was wrong. He's been in 783 episodes of The
Wow.
Simpsons.
Well, and I think he plays multiple characters,
He
if I
does.
remember right.
Well, it looks like
Yeah.
he plays Mo. So like
Oh,
Mo's in
the
like
bar.
most episodes, I would think.
Yeah. 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 So anyway, he apparently took this character and played this character on The Simpsons as well, which I think is really
That
like
is
by
funny.
name, which is funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was also in Night at the Museum.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
played the Pharaoh in the second one. So he and Robin Williams had done another movie together
Oh,
then,
that's
because
nice.
Robin Williams played Teddy Roosevelt in those
That's right.
movies.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember, I
it's
think I
fun.
saw the third Night at the Museum movie because it like
Mm.
came out like right after Robin Williams died. So it was like, this
Oh.
is his like last movie. And I go, I gotta go see
Mm.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
There's another interesting thing. So do you know Callista Flockhart? She plays Barbara. She's the daughter.
She looked so familiar.
She was in the show Ally McBeal. She
Okay.
played the lead in Ally McBeal. But she's also Harrison Ford's wife.
Oh, okay.
And so then you have the Harrison Ford, Mike Nichols, Callista Flockhart
Yeah,
little triangle there.
true.
But Callista Flockhart was an unknown at this point. Like, I don't know that I think they said Mike Nichols had seen her in a play or something. She was actually 30 years old. She was playing an 18-year-old. She's actually 30.
She did not look 30.
No, I know. And so he had seen her on that and that in this play and brought her in. And I don't remember when she and Harrison Ford got married, but like there's quite an age difference between the two of them, and they're still married.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, that's funny. I didn't know she was in this. And then I was like, oh, well, she's married to Harrison Ford. Oh, he was in the Mike Nichols movies we've been watching.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just kind of funny to me, the tie together on that.
Huh. Yeah, I
I
didn't.
don't feel like she does anything anymore, really.
Uh,
Like, do you see anything newer out there?
she does TV. It's a lot of
Oh,
TV for like the last
okay.
the last movie she was in 2005.
Okay.
But she was in Supergirl, which ended in 2021, and she's currently in
Oh,
Invincible.
okay. Well, I guess I just am not watching the shows that she's in. I felt like she had disappeared So I'm glad she's still working. That's
Yeah,
good.
she's still around. It looks like, well,
That's good.
Invincible's voice, but
Mm. Mm-hmm.
she seems to be doing
Okay.
okay.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
I did want to talk about the Hank Azaria thing because
Yeah.
he is so much fun in this movie.
Yes.
One of my favorite things that Hank Azaria does, or I guess his character does, but like when they first talk about bringing the senator over, they're like, "We're gonna need you to dress more straight looking." And so then like a couple scenes later, he's like cleaning the pool or something, but he's wearing a crop top that says straighter looking or something like that.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
that is so
With
much
his G string. I was like, oh gosh, that's so funny. And he's out there singing, bending over. They had to be dying when they were watching him do that scene.
so much fun. And also when he keeps
Oh.
falling over because he's not used to wearing shoes. He's like a dog.
He's like walking flat footed, is like stomp, 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 because he didn't want to go up on his toes. Oh my gosh, that made me laugh so hard. You could just hear him leaving the room. You could hear him coming in the room. It was so, you see the first visual of it, and then it was, you're just getting the audio of him
Oh,
entering and leaving the rooms. And it killed me. I thought that was so funny.
it's really, really funny. He's like one of the
Yeah,
highlights of the movie for me every
I
time he was on
agree.
screen. And I don't
He
even
was great.
know Hank Azaria from like, I mean, I know I've seen stuff like
Mm-hmm.
where he's been in it, but like I've
Mm-hmm.
never really thought of him of being like, oh, he's like that funny. But like in this movie, I was like really, really impressed. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Like,
he was on the show Mad About You back in the, was that the 90s? Maybe 80s and 90s. Helen Hunt. They were married. Helen Hunt, I think, and
oh,
Hank Azaria were married, I believe. Oh, now I'm second guessing myself. I'm pretty sure. Is that right? Are you looking him up? No,
oh,
sorry.
wait, what?
He was in Mad About You, and he was in. Oh, there was something
Oh,
else I was thinking, but he had a pretty big role in Mad About You. He's like a neighbor or something, I think.
yeah. Mad About You was on from 95 to 99. So
Okay, so
after this
after
movie,
this,
yeah.
yeah, he's very funny. He was great in that show.
Mm,
I always really liked that character, but I'm pretty sure he and Helen Hunt were married. You know Helen Hunt, right?
yeah,
From Twister and
yeah.
As Good as It Gets. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun, my own personal favorite Helen Hunt movie. No, I love As Good as It Gets. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's really G dang
I
good.
love that one.
I haven't
It
seen
really
it in
is.
a long time.
Yeah, that would be one. There's a few movies I think that, you and I watched together, and I think, oh, we should have waited just a few more years. It would hit you in a different way. Fried Green Tomatoes is one of those.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about that one.
Yeah, As Good as It Gets is another one where I'm like, I think if you had a little more life experience behind you and you watched it now, it would hit in a very different way.
I bet. Yeah. I mean,
That
what I
movie is
remember
excellent.
is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that is a spectacular movie. But anyway, yeah, I just really, I thought he was fantastic. And I thought, oh, again, it's that whole thing where it's like the over the top. The character is so over the top.
Yeah.
But also, I know people like that. Like I know people like that.
Yeah.
And so, it's such a tricky line because you're like, well, are people going to find that offensive? Are they going to think I'm making fun of them? Or,
Yeah.
but it was so good natured. And
Yeah.
the message of the movie was, the message and the tone of the movie, while very funny and entertaining, was also very subversive.
Yes.
And I think then if you were part of that community and you watched this, you would obviously get what they're putting down. The whole thing about gay people in the military, like that was a huge issue at that time. Huge. Everyone was talking about it. The don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like peak don't ask, don't tell years. So some of those things they were talking about would have been very hot button issues at the time.
Yeah.
Abortion, all of those like conservative talking points. They didn't hold back.
No.
Yeah, but it was told also with such heart. Like it was not mean-spirited.
No,
It
no.
was like they were just kind of taking what they were throwing at them and like just dishing it back,
Yeah.
but with generosity of spirit. Like they didn't have to well obviously they love their son. That's
Yeah.
part of it. But also I don't know. It just felt like I don't even know how to say what I want to say exactly, but I just the care to me, part of what really spoke to me was like what you're willing to do as a parent for your children.
Yeah.
And even when your children are being jerks, which you and your sister are never jerks, but if you
Oh,
were, like, it's the, he was willing to put his relationship on the line. I mean, that you're asking an awful lot of your partner, and going to find his mom,
yeah.
like he was doing a lot of really hard things for him, and then to have his son just not even recognize what he was asking of him.
Yeah.
That was so it was so heartbreaking, but it is a good example of what parents will do because they just want their kids to be happy,
Yeah.
you know. But the other thing I really loved was that Nathan Lane, whenever he would fall apart, Armand always went after him,
Yeah.
always. And I could see after a while you'd be like, dude, build some resilience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everything was so over the top of that. But he never really did that. He
No,
never did. He just went after him, and I don't know. It was just so kind. It was just such a kind movie.
it really
It was
was.
very, very kind. Yeah.
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 It was like just really nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
that relationship, I was like kind of going into it. I'm like, uh-oh. Like how are they going to portray this? Cuz like I'm
Yeah.
so worried every time like there's gay representation where it's like
Mm-hmm.
especially from this era and before where it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's just going to be sex." Where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, the only thing we know about gay people is that they like having sex with dudes, so that's what we're going to have
Mm.
our gay character do.
Right.
And so like it was really refreshing, like the scene at the harbor when Albert is like threatening to move to like this cemetery out in the middle of nowhere, and like they just have this scene where like he's like, I'm gonna give you this palimony, and we're just gonna
Yeah.
sit here, and like it ends like where they just like sit and hold hands, and it's just like
Yeah.
so sweet that
It was.
Armand like what you're saying. It's like he goes after him,
Mm-hmm.
and like you can tell that he like genuinely cares a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's just I'm like, man, I love it. I love
Yeah.
that.
I think too, you think at the beginning of the movie how it's opening and you're like, what is the relationship between these two? Is he
Yeah.
just the club owner? Like, and you see them kind of arguing and stuff, and I'm trying to figure it out. And he's trying to placate and, bring Albert down,
Hmm.
get him calm so that he can go out and do his amazing thing.
Yeah.
Um, I just, that was an interesting dynamic too, because it's almost like, he's also trying to manage.
Yeah.
He's trying to manage Albert. But I also think like the anxiety and stuff that you see, his inability to regulate himself sometimes when it comes to his emotions. I'm talking about Albert here,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
inability to regulate his emotions, that he can't seem to bring himself down. And then you see like the Robin Williams character come up behind him and like massaging his back and like,
Yeah.
we can do this. And he's talking him through it. And after a while that would get really old, but he sticks with it. He's not leaving. And
Mhm.
they have conflicts throughout this movie.
Yeah.
And, they're trying to figure out, how do I just say this to this person? How do I say to Albert that I don't want you here and I'm going to get his mother, and you're moving everything out of the house? That part was hilarious, by the way. They
Oh
bring in
yeah.
the moose head and then that giant crucifix on the wall. Oh my gosh.
And I
It
liked
was so empty in there.
and their
It was
idea
so
of
funny.
like, oh, well, we need to have literature on the bookshelf, so let's just get the entire Nancy Drew collection.
That's right. Well, they kept going to the antique store across the street.
Right.
So it was like whatever they had
Whatever.
over there. You looked at the furniture and it was all this dark, ornate wood and, the cushioned chairs. You could see they just ran across the street and got everything they had,
Right.
And he kept going, don't add things. We're not adding things because they kept coming in with these crazy. That just made me laugh so hard. I loved it. But I also loved, okay, so they were nominated. The only Oscar that this movie was nominated for was for set design,
Oh,
and you can see why. I mean,
sure.
I thought they should have been nominated for other things as well, but set design, when I think about the the way that the set told the story, and you
Yes.
think about the senator's house, and it was this, very Victorian looking home with
Yeah.
lots of rich wood and dark colors and very austere, everything there, the way they dressed, very conservatively.
Yeah.
And then whenever you'd go to South Beach, it's like pastels and bright colors
Yeah.
and palm trees, and the sets were amazing. That bus stop, that scene that we were just talking about,
Hmm.
where they were holding hands, and it was like hot pink and blue. And then there was this big giant carnival ship behind it. I was trying so hard to read the name of the ship because I was like, maybe I've been on that ship and wouldn't that be fun? But I couldn't see the name of the ship. But anyway, the set design that just was, I loved the two back and forth.
Absolutely.
The way that they used their costuming and the sets to really paint a picture was so
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah. I mean, another thing with that is like when we're cutting back between South Beach and somewhere in Ohio,
Mm,
is that it's winter. So in Ohio, it's like there's snow everywhere and it's gray
yeah.
and gross. Like it looks like it's December.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so like we're getting this contrast between like this cold and dead like world, and then when we cut back to South Beach and it's bright and the saturation is cranked up. Um,
Yeah.
but also like what we see of Ohio is like there's just like scummy reporters, like the Inquirer is like
Yeah.
buying the driver.
Right.
Um, but then like when we cut to South Beach, like one of my like well, this not one of my favorite scenes in a movie, but it's one that stands out because it's like right after it's like the morning after the big show.
Mm-hmm.
And so Albert finds out that Val is in town. And so he's like out and he's just like buying a cake. But like he's just
Mm-hmm.
like walking through the street and everybody's just like, "Hey Albert, how you doing? You having a good morning?" And I'm just like, it's just so nice. Like
Yeah.
like it's I don't know. I feel like, and this might be where I get on my soapbox a little bit,
Please
but
do.
like I feel like gay representation in film is so like so far back still,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because like we're still like hiding from this, where it's like, well, they're gay but they need to like kind of have their own thing. Like I'm thinking specifically, I feel like I talk about Disney all the time and how terrible they are about representation, but like
Yeah.
it feels especially appropriate to bring up here, where it was like I watched the new Fantastic Four movie that came out
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year. And I know I already complained to you on the phone, so sorry. But
It's okay.
um, there was like this thing where they recast the Silver Surfer, where the Silver Surfer was a female. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care. But then I
Yeah.
watched the movie. And it was like a running thing throughout the whole thing that the Human Torch and the Silver Surfer have feelings for each other.
Mm.
And I'm like, what a giant missed opportunity that Disney just dropped the ball on.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't drop the ball because it was a very deliberate choice. You don't
Yeah.
accidentally recast the Silver Surfer and like, well, we're gonna have the Silver Surfer be a woman. That's just its own thing. No, we
Mm-hmm.
have to change the gender of the Silver Surfer so that this romance between these two characters is heteronormative so that we can sell this movie in China and Saudi Arabia and all of these countries that will just outlaw any movie with any gay character in it. And I was like, that was like the thing that made me the most upset with that movie, where I'm like, you guys are so spineless and like greedy and like you're not in this business for the right reasons. Like watching a movie like this and having just so many characters be unabashedly gay and like having the moral be that we shouldn't be hiding these things, and that when Albert is just able to live his life, people love him for it, and they don't care that he's like a drag queen or gay or like in a long-term relationship with another man. Like, it's just night and day. And this movie came out 30 years before Fantastic Four did. I don't know. That might be like my most disappointing movie of this year, and it was largely because of that. Like, I honestly couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel weird. Like, I can't really talk to people about that because I'm also like, I am upset that they changed the gender of the Silver Surfer, but I also have to be like, for a different reason than all of the other people are upset that they changed.
That's right.
Like,
That's right.
Some weirdos are just like, oh, the Silver Surfer is a man. You can't have the Silver Surfer be a woman. I would be fine with it if there wasn't this obvious romance. I'm like, oh, it was a cynical business thing.
Think about the pushback they got on the Gaston character in, or not Gaston. I can't remember what the name of LeFou.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh, you think about how much people were talking about that, and it was a nothing burger.
Yeah.
You watched it, and it was like, oh, it was a look. It was a glance, and people are having a cow about it. Yeah. You know, I don't know. That, to me, that was so blown out of proportion, so ridiculous. But this, I'm like, I think about this sometimes when you hear about, I listen to a lot of podcasts about racial justice and that kind of stuff. And I've heard people say, like, I'm really tired of all of Black media, or, you know, movies that are made about Black people are all about enslavement and like how, and segregation and all the hard things that they've been through. Where is the Black joy? And I think sometimes it can feel that way with, you know, LGBTQ content as well. Like, we're going to have movies about, you know, Philadelphia and City of Angels and all these Boys Don't Cry, all of these movies. Moonlight, yes. So many movies about how hard it is. And it's not to say that that's not true. This movie, though, I felt like was gay joy.
Yeah.
And other than in a musical here and there, you don't see it very often. The other thing I'm thinking about is Hairspray.
Yeah.
Where you had, that's a John Waters. The original was a John Waters movie, right?
Yeah. And then Divine played the mom, which.
Yeah. Edna. Turnblad. Edna, like your dog.
Like my dog.
Yeah. But on Broadway, Harvey Fierstein played that role.
Okay.
And then in the movie, John Travolta. So, but you know, it still caused a bit of a stir.
Oh, sure.
You know, but this I just don't remember. You know, maybe I'm just, because I hadn't seen it, I didn't take it in maybe in the same way, but I don't remember having a lot of pushback on this movie. I don't remember it being a big deal. But maybe because it was a comedy.
Maybe.
And people felt like they could laugh at it, you know, because it was funny. I laughed really so many times. I don't laugh at movies very often. I feel like I don't see very many funny things anymore, but I laughed so many times. I was so amused by this movie, the tongue-in-cheek nature of it, the whole like redecorating the apartment. That's a great example. Like every time they would bring something else in, It was like, this is so funny. All those drag queens like moving their furniture, like, oh, I loved it. The wedding, when
Yeah.
they're at the wedding and the one side is looking at the other side. And I mean, it was just, um, I just really, I really, really enjoyed this movie
It's
more
really
than I
good.
thought I was going to. I mean, I talked to you, you were 20 minutes in when I talked to you the other night,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't know. I don't know about this movie. You seemed kind of hesitant. And so then I was like, I watched it and I was like, I really am enjoying this.
Yeah.
I wonder if Jerry still hated it. Like, because you were very, but 20 minutes in, it's hard to tell the tone, right?
Yeah. I was also like, and that's something I also wanted to talk about is specifically those first 20 minutes is because
Hmm.
like I wasn't really sure what kind of movie I was getting into. Like I didn't really know
Right.
the synopsis or I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah,
Um
I didn't either.
and so like the first 20 minutes, it's kind of like like we're trying to see if Albert is right because we see that Albert is like hysterical. There's white wine in the fridge. You and I only drink red.
Yes.
You're clearly sleeping with someone else. And then his son shows up, but we don't know that it's his son at first.
Right.
And it's like the way that Armand like touches his hair is like and like
Yeah.
kind of looks at him, like you can tell that
Yeah.
there's a connection. I'm like, oh no, I don't want this. Like I don't
Yeah.
want this movie where Robin Williams like he can play a bad guy, whatever. But I'm like, this
Sure.
this could be really, really nice. And I'm gonna be disappointed if this is like a big thing where it's like there's
Hmm.
this infidelity thing. Like I've seen that so many times before and I don't really need to see it again. And then plus
Yeah.
like in the first 20 minutes, that's when like Armand says, "Well, you're not a woman." And I'm like, "Wait, is
Mm.
this like what's going on here? Like is
Yeah.
that kind of like weird transphobia that's seeking through?" But
Hmm.
really after that, it really switches where it like really becomes more heartwarming and a lighter tone. And
Hmm.
that was like, "Oh, okay, I'm in." Like 110%. Like I loved it.
Yeah. 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 I agree. So I had talked with you and then I started watching it and I thought, oh no, maybe this is,
Oh,
I had in my mind what you were thinking. And then I thought, oh, and then I thought, should I not be liking this? Like as I got
oh,
further into it, I hoped that you had switched, like,
oh yeah,
I
completely.
hoped that your opinion had changed, but I really didn't know what I was walking into to have this conversation because the last conversation we had, you were like, yeah, I don't know, mom. I don't know about this one. I don't know what we're getting into. So, um, yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. In fact, after talking about it with you, I think I'm going to bump my rating that I had originally thought on it because, yeah, I really liked it.
It's
I
really
really,
good.
really liked it.
Yeah.
And Diane Wiest, so that's Louise, Diane Wiest, and I cannot think of what she was in that I had seen that oh, Footloose. That's
Oh,
it. I
okay.
think she played the mom in Footloose. She was horrible. Um, I just remember not liking her. She was married to John Lithgow. She played the wife of the pastor in the town who's like no dancing, no nothing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of ended up um, like going against him. So, but through the most of the movie, you don't like her. And then she was an interesting character, actually.
Yeah.
Um, so like we start the movie, she's behind him. She's the smiling wife. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. But he's very he belittles her a lot.
Oh yeah.
And um, and then the whole thing where she thinks that she gets jealous of Albert because he was doting on her and being so sweet to her, and then he never treated her like that. But I couldn't tell at the end like what her stance was at the end of the movie. Did she try to convince him to? We never really saw.
No. There's a like she is like the first one to catch on of the two
Yeah,
of like what's going
yeah.
on.
He was snowed. He
Yeah.
was totally snowed. Yeah.
And
She's
she
like, something's not right here.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that is like she is more chill about it though. Like
Hmm.
she's just like they're together. Like come on, get with the
Hmm.
times.
Yeah, that's true. She was trying to explain it to him. That whole thing with the dishes. These
Oh yeah.
boys are playing leapfrog and they're naked.
And then they're like, "Is it
Oh, and the
Greek?
scene
Is
where
it Greek?"
the whole thing with when they're going through the apartment too. It's like, what in our apartment? And they start showing all these naked statues all over the apartment with, oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Or like the
That made me
painting,
laugh.
like the guy in drag with an apple. Yeah.
Yes. And then that one that had the giant pee on it.
Oh
It was
yeah.
like so big. Oh my gosh. That just cracked me up. That was
Oh
so funny.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a really good movie.
It's
So
really
I have a
good.
couple things. You had said that you don't feel like it's a movie that you hear people talk much about, but I did find
Yeah.
an interesting piece of trivia from Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh,
Tell me what Paul Thomas Anderson has directed.
well, most recently he directed One Battle After Another, which is my
Okay.
movie of the
Oh,
year.
yeah, you liked that one. Okay.
But he also
Oh,
did like Boogie Nights and
mm.
Magnolia, and There Will
Oh,
Be Blood, like a lot of hits.
okay. Okay. So he said that this movie is one of two films that, quote, without fail or question, will make me stop dead in my tracks and watch all the way to the very end, no matter what else is happening or needs to get done,
Oh,
unquote.
that's really nice.
The other film is The Shining.
Those are
Very different. Very,
interesting.
very different. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. So the screenplay for this movie was based on a French farce called La Cage aux Folles. Have you ever heard of
I saw
that?
that in the credits, and I'm glad you
Yeah,
did some research 'cause I was like, what is that?
yeah. It was also made into a Broadway musical, but it's basically a French, yeah, I think it's no a French movie, I think, and then they made it into a Broadway musical, and then they
Mm.
made it into a movie here. But I've always known it as the Broadway musical. I didn't even realize that there was anything before that. So that was interesting to me.
Yeah.
The Mike Nichols, this is good. Mike Nichols had to be covered by a sound blanket during the scene when he was showing him how to do his toast when he kept putting his pinky
Oh
up
yeah.
because he was laughing too loud. They couldn't get a take because he was laughing too loud. So they put a sound blanket over him.
I
I
could
just thought that
totally
was
see
funny.
that.
Yeah, that was so. He's like, you gotta smear it. That one made me laugh. It was very funny.
That scene is so funny.
Um, oh, I thought it was. I thought it was really, really great. Oh, two more funny things that I really. Well, three.
Yeah.
This movie was screened at the White House for Bill Clinton.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. That was a fun little tidbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Nichols required that Nathan Lane and Robin Williams do one good take of the scene, sticking to the script. And then he would let them do another one where they were ad-libbing because they were both known as people who like to go off script.
Oh yeah.
And so he's like, I needed at least just give me one scene where you're sticking with the script before we'll move on. So that was really funny. There's that scene where Robin Williams fell. And that was legit.
Oh.
They said it was the shrimp scene.
Oh
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
think of, yeah, but they said you could look at the other actors' faces and see that they were struggling to keep a straight face. I thought that was fun. Anyway, the other one was Hank Azaria is good friends with Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh.
And while Hank Azaria was doing the Birdcage, Billy Bob was doing Sling Blade. Have you ever seen Sling Blade?
I haven't.
Sling Blade? Okay. Well, I won't watch it again. I did watch it once, but I wouldn't watch it again just
Okay.
because it's too disturbing for me. But
Oh.
they were practicing. Have you ever heard The Voice?
I know
The, s-
what Billy
the
Bob
Sling
Thornton
Blade
said.
voice?
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't know a Sling Blade voice.
Oh, you don't know his Sling Blade voice? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to watch a clip of that because what you need is the mental picture of the two of them working on their characters' voices with each other. That they would drive around in their cars pretending they were in a buddy film together, a buddy cop film together.
Oh.
And so he would do, Azaria would do his voice, and then Billy Bob was doing the Sling Blade voice. And you cannot, like, it would be hilarious to hear it. I can't even imagine what they would ad lib with that. It would have been so funny to see.
Yeah.
If only you could be a fly on the wall for that, that would have been awesome. I really loved it. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is, before we got on, I was saying there's so many award winners in this cast.
Yeah.
It really is remarkable. So you have Robin Williams. Oh, let's talk about casting real quick. So Robin Williams, the other people that they had considered for the Armand character after Steve Martin dipped, they had also thought about Anthony Hopkins, which I don't know, Kevin Kline, Jim Carrey, and Billy Crystal. Those were some names that they threw out there for other options for Armand.
Billy
Do you have
Crystal's
feelings?
really the only one that I think fits.
Billy Crystal would have been good.
Yeah.
He played a gay character on a sitcom in the 70s called Soap. Was it Soap? It was either Soap or Benson. I think those two, one is a spinoff, but he played a gay character in that. So I could definitely see him doing that. Jim Carrey, Kevin Kline played in, he actually played in a biopic. I can't remember who it is, but it's a real person who is gay that was closeted. And he was actually excellent in it.
Oh.
And he's a very funny comedic actor. I could see him doing it. Anthony Hopkins, I don't know. I don't think I could see that one very well.
No.
Anyway, okay. So I found two other alternate castings. One was for the Louise character, Diane Keaton.
Oh,
They
sure.
had said would have been an option. That could have been interesting. But at the time, Steve Martin was attached. And they had just done Father of the Bride together. So, that probably wouldn't have worked out. And then the Agador character, which was the Hank Azaria character, they had David Alan Grier. I don't know if you know him at all. Is he familiar to you?
I'll have to look up a picture. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, I know this guy.
He often plays like character parts.
Yeah.
But there was something that said something about the fact that he was black. They worried that that it would just there were too many dynamics that went along with that as well. So they just didn't want to go down that road. I don't know what the details were on that, but anyway,
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
That would be
Anyway,
that would be a little
Yeah.
bit worse when Gene Hackman calls Agador a savage.
yes. Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, that would be a lot worse.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes. Okay. So when we're talking about this cast and award winners, you've got, of course, let's start with Robin Williams, who won the Oscar for Good Will Hunting. He had been nominated for 3 other films for leading roles in Good Morning Vietnam and Dead Poets Society and Fisher King.
I haven't seen that one.
That one he plays, I think it is an unhoused person who's also mentally ill.
Oh.
And Jeff Bridges is in that too.
Oh.
That's a pretty good movie. I haven't seen it since it came out, but it was pretty good. Now Nathan Lane, this was his big breakout movie role. He hadn't really been in film before this. He was more a theater guy, so
Sure.
and obviously well loved in the theater realm. But Gene Hackman. So I didn't realize he had won 2 Oscars. He won for leading role in The French Connection.
Yep.
And supporting actor for Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
And he was nominated for Bonnie and Clyde, Mississippi Burning, and a movie called I Never Sang for My Father. I've never even heard of that. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah. No, me either. Diane Wiest, also a 2-time Oscar winner for supporting actress.
Wow.
She won for Bullets Over Broadway and Hannah and Her Sisters. Hannah and Her Sisters is a Woody Allen. The Bullets Over Broadway, I am not sure. I've heard of it, but I don't remember who did that one. And then, this is interesting, the guy who plays Val, the son, I don't know if it's Futterman or Fuderman. I'm not sure.
Oh.
He is an Oscar nominee. I was like, who is this dude? I've never seen him again. He apparently still does a little bit of acting.
Oh.
He is an Oscar nominee because he wrote the best adapted screenplay for Capote.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
I know. I was like, well, that feels very out of left field. He also produced that movie. So, producer and wrote the screenplay and was nominated for an Oscar for that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, this movie, like I told you, it was nominated for art and set direction. Golden Globes had 2 nominations, Best Picture for a comedy or musical, and for the lead, Nathan Lane.
Sure.
And then in the Screen Actors Guild, it won for outstanding performance as a cast.
Oh.
So the entire cast won, which I think is well-deserved.
Yeah.
For sure. And they had 2 other nominations in the Screen Actors Guild, one both for supporting. One was for Hank Azaria and the other was for Nathan Lane.
Oh, nice.
So no Robin Williams nominations anywhere other than that one cast win. But also this was a more subdued role for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't overly dramatic and it wasn't overly comedic. So it kind of put him in a weird spot. I think of the other things that he was nominated for, Oscars for, Dead Poets Society and whatever, are definitely dramatic.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of an interesting role, but I thought he was brilliant in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just more subtle.
It's kind of interesting in that like he's both kind of the protagonist and like the supporting character. Because like he's like the rock that like out for Albert, obviously, but he's also like the glue keeping everything together. Like what we're looking at is hardly ever him, but it's important that he's there.
Right. That's right.
He does a lot to like uplift all
and
the other performances.
He does. And I think that it's nice to have that subtle character to say not every gay person is flamboyant. Not every gay person is what, that Hank Azaria character looks like, The idea that, he says, it took me 20 years to figure out, where I'm standing with my sexuality. Yes, he wears the open shirt and the chain and the, like all of that, but it's definitely a more subtle portrayal. And that's accurate. Like that is accurate. And so his role was very important, but it also, I feel he let other people shine.
Absolutely.
Because he could have hammed it up or like, but I feel like it was a generous performance in that he let Nathan Lane in his first big movie role, like his support allowed him to shine. Same with the Hank Azaria character. He was the heart. I feel like that's it. I feel like Armand was the heart
really was
of this movie.
Yeah.
That's a different role. Yeah.
But it's important.
And a difficult role.
Yeah.
A very, very important role. That's what gives the movie, it's his conflict between his son and his partner. He's just trying to make everybody happy. He's trying to, keep things together and maintain his relationships in a really difficult situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think Robin Williams needs more praise as an actor because I think he's brilliant.
Yeah. I really love him. I fell in love with him on Mork and Mindy.
Of
like
course.
As a little kid, I thought he was so wonderful. So I spent my whole life just loving him. Everything he was in, I loved him. I went and saw Good Morning Vietnam because he was in it. And you know how I feel about War and Blood.
Yeah.
And I bought the soundtrack for that movie because I had it on, it must have been on CD. I had it on CD and it would have, but you've never seen it. Okay. But because he plays this radio host in Vietnam and he gets on there and he riffs.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of it is ad-libbed and it's so energetic and fun and funny. And on the soundtrack, it had those riffs in it.
Oh.
And so I would I would just listen to that. It wasn't for the music. You couldn't, I just loved him.
Yeah.
And so I just really, I can't overstate how much I love him. And I love that you love him too, because he really was a treasure.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I okay, this is kind of interesting. I just looked up the Good Morning Vietnam soundtrack on Spotify.
Uh-huh.
And most of the skits are unavailable. So I'm not sure
Really?
what happened. The songs are there.
Okay.
There's one skit, the first one. But other than that, all of the other ones are not available to be streamed on Spotify.
Interesting.
So I'm not sure what's
Is
going on
that a
there.
copyright
Probably
thing because it's on a recording of the film?
that could be.
I mean, that's what it is. They took the audio from the movie and put it on the soundtrack. So maybe that's,
Probably. Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting that there's one still on there though.
Yeah, I wonder why. That is interesting. Yeah, that movie. That was a great movie. I don't know. I just love him. There's another movie he was in that I saw years ago. I read the book. John Irving wrote a book called The World According to Garp.
Yeah.
And I think that was Robin Williams, like maybe one of his first dramatic acting roles. It was with John Lithgow. Again, John Lithgow was transgender in this movie. And I think Robin Williams' character was his therapist or a friend or something. Anyway, I read the book and I watched the movie, but it's been so long ago. I would love to go back and watch that again and see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a really, really, really long time. I don't remember much about it. I just remember that John Lithgow, was a trans woman, and that was so. It was not mocking. It was not.
Oh.
It was done with a lot of compassion and heart to that character's situation.
Yeah.
But that one would have been, I don't know, early to mid 80s.
1982.
Early. Look at me.
There you go.
Well, I was only 10 at the time that it came out, so I obviously didn't see it then. But after I read the book, so I probably was in my early to mid 20s when I read it. So it has been a long time
Sure.
since I've seen it, but I would love to watch that one again too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, maybe we can do that on the show. I did see that it is directed by George Roy Hill, who did Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Sting. So
Really?
yeah, he has some interesting stuff in his career.
Okay.
So maybe that one.
All
might
right.
be
Well,
worth a watch.
that would be a good one. I do think we need to rewatch As Good as Gets sometime too.
Sure.
Maybe that'll be my next pick when we come back around again, because I really think you will love it.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, I think you will. Anyway. Okay. So I'll tell you, well, let me tell you first what Rotten Tomatoes and stuff was.
Oh, sure.
And then I'll say what I'm giving it. So Letterboxd, it's at a 4.4.
That's really high.
The Birdcage is at a 4.4. I know. And Rotten Tomatoes is at 84% critics, 81 audience.
Okay.
And what we've learned is that, the audience score changes, but that critic score is from the time.
Yes.
So 84% for this movie that featured, gay joy and great messaging in the 1990s.
That's
Yay,
cool.
critics. Way to go.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So I had given it 4 on the spreadsheet. I hadn't put it out on Letterboxd yet. I'd given it 4. But now that we've chatted about it, I do feel like I think I'm going to be bold and give it 5 stars just because of the heart. I loved, and it made me laugh. And that just doesn't, and it also was so, it was so sweet. It was so it was fun and it was funny, but it was also very sweet and tender. And I loved that. And just the subtlety of Robin Williams' face, his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it. So I'm going to give it 5 stars, I think.
Wow. Well,
I know.
I was going to do the same thing because I also rated it 4 stars. But I think after our conversation, I'm going to bump it up to 4.5. I'm not that
All right,
bold.
look at us. Yeah, I'm going bold. I don't find movies that make me laugh that much anymore.
Sure.
And and it just was so amusing to me. I just really enjoyed it a lot. Anyway, I don't need to be stingy with my fives.
No.
Like I was looking through our list and I thought, where are all my fives? I haven't given a five. I think Rear Window was my first five out of all
Really?
the movies we've seen. I think
Wow.
so. And I'm like, why am I being stingy with my fives? Let me look. I'm going to double check if that's correct. No, I gave American Splendor five.
Oh, there you go.
So American Splendor and Rear Window, and now I'm changing the Birdcage to five too because I loved it.
Nice.
You've given a lot of fives.
Well, I think I've picked 5-star movies that I've
Yeah.
shown you.
But some of them I know you have bumped up
Yes.
after having rewatched. So, and there's some on there where I'm like, oh, I have a lot of 4.5s out there. American Fiction, Do the Right Thing, Grumpy Old Men.
Oh,
I love Grumpy Old Men.
that's a good movie.
Anyway, it is a good movie. Anywho, yeah, I was just so pleasantly surprised. I really, really loved this. So
Yeah.
it's fun to go in, and I've said that about Rear Window too. Like you go into something cold, really not knowing what to expect, and especially from a comedy, and especially a comedy in the '90s that's about gay people, and you think,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I
what's
don't
it
know what I'm
gonna
walking
be?
into. Yeah, and then it turns out to be something so wonderful.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good pick.
Thank you. Yes, I can't take credit for it because I didn't know.
Well, yeah.
But thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Well, I think it's my turn to pick.
It is.
And I've been kind of going back and forth on what to pick. I kind of had a few options, but I think it's been a minute since we've done a Ghibli. Last one we did was Spirited Away, which did redeem
Yep,
Princess Mononoke.
it did.
But I think we're going to do another all-time classic. And we're going to do
Okay.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Okay. Have we watched that?
We have not.
Oh.
Unless you tell me right now that this is a movie that you have seen.
I need to look. Hold on. I just need to look to make sure. Because I am not great at keeping up on my Letterboxd. I need to be better about doing that. I mean, I have been with the stuff that we're doing, but My Neighbor. Have I seen this?
It's the one that has a big
Oh,
cute
it's so
bear
hard
thing
because
in
it like, what's that?
It's the one that has the big cute bear thing in it.
Yes, I mean, I'm looking at it and I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think I have.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited. This is one that I watched a while ago, and I think at the time I was like, if I watched this when I was younger, I think I would actually like it more. It does kind of feel like it's not like it's geared towards younger people, but I was just like, man, if I watched this when I was like 12, this would be like all over. Like I would have little patches of Totoro and stuff. Like, and that's very much a thing of people my generation, where it's like
Okay.
people who did grow up with this, like, oh, I've seen Totoro everywhere before seeing this movie. But it's just a really cute movie, and I think you'll really, really
Okay.
like it.
Wonderful. That sounds great. I could use a cute movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So next time, My Neighbor Totoro.
Okay.
Get ready. I don't think I'll have like a whole lot of Miyazaki stuff. I feel like I've already talked about the man to death. So we're just gonna have some fun next time.
Okay. That sounds great. That sounds really good. I watched the John Candy. I finally watched the John Candy documentary.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very worth your time. If anyone is a fan of John Candy, and I love John Candy with all my heart.
Absolutely.
he was a wonderful, he did not disappoint. He was a good person.
Yeah.
I feel like him, like I feel about Robin Williams, where it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I've liked them forever. They seem like such solid, sweet people. He has a very complex background,
True.
but he is just a lovely, lovely person. Like everyone who talked about him talked about how much they loved him. And so it was very fun to see people have such nice things to say about him.
That's really
It was
nice.
great. It made me want to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's where I saw when the Varsity Cinema is doing a screening of that. I wonder if they're doing that partially because of that documentary, if there's been a renewed interest.
Maybe.
I love him in Cool Runnings too. That's like one of my favorite movies. I love that one. Anyway, it was really wonderful. And talking about his friendship with John Hughes and Macaulay Culkin,
Yeah.
his comments about John Candy will break your heart. They're
Oh,
the
I
sweetest thing ever. So sweet. Yeah. Yeah. You could just go out and look at his comments and you'd be like, oh, it was great. Loved it. So anyway, that was a really good documentary. If somebody's looking for a documentary and you're a fan of John Candy, I would highly recommend it. I'm also watching no, did I finish it? No, I haven't finished the Charlie Sheen one yet.
Oh.
But wow, he's laying it all out there. And it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's
He's had
very,
an
very interesting.
life.
Very interesting. And the people they've gotten to be on that too was also really fun. So it's fun to see people that you have, watched your whole life. And then the people, their friends are getting on there and it's like, I can't believe they got that person. I
Right.
can't believe that person's, it's kind of crazy, but it's like, of course they're friends, they're peers, but they're such icons at this point.
Right.
Anyway, it was fun. It was really fun.
Shout out John
Anyway.
Candy. Maybe watch a
Yep.
John Candy movie, even though that has nothing to do with this podcast that we just did. But watch one.
No, it
Just
doesn't.
for fun.
Yeah, watch one. Yes. I love Uncle Buck. That's like one of my
I've not seen
what?
that. Yeah.
Okay, you did. You just don't remember it. It is one of the first movies that I played for you where I was like, maybe you're a little too young for this.
Oh, okay. I don't remember at all.
Where I had really fond memories of it. And then I played it for you and your sister, and there was a lot of swearing and like things that were probably a little too old for you. But that's the one that he was in with Macaulay Culkin. And Macaulay Culkin was like maybe 5.
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah.
was so young. But he was so good in it.
Oh, he's good.
That's where you see that like lovable, sweet,
I feel
guy.
like you get that with every single John Candy performance. Even
You
when he's
do.
like doing a comedic thing, he's just like, you can tell. He's just such a sweetheart.
Well, and like the Splash, when we watched Splash. I don't remember when that was.
he in
The
Splash?
mermaid movie with, yes, he plays his brother. And you were like, John
Oh.
Candy makes that movie. He's so
Yeah.
hilarious. That scene where they're doing the racquetball.
Yes.
They're playing
okay.
racquetball.
Yeah.
And he's drunk, and that he was drunk in real life. It was so funny. He'd been out. I can't remember who he went out with the night before. Jack Nicholson, maybe? He went out with somebody the night before and got totally trashed. Yeah. And then he had to shoot that scene the next morning. He was so hungover. Anyway, it was hilarious.
We didn't do Splash on this show.
We didn't.
We did not.
I think you and I talked about it, though, right?
Yeah, I did.
I think we watched it together.
I don't think. What did we? Maybe.
I think so. Yeah, recently.
Yeah, it was
Maybe when you were
recent.
home at Christmas or something.
That could be.
Yeah,
we did
I know
watch
we've
it.
watched it recently. Yeah, and we
Yeah.
were like, that didn't hold up as well as I know. I built it up, and then I was like, oh, that didn't hold up as well, except for John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy's great.
That was the exception. He was so great in that. He was a highlight. He was a highlight.
I remember we did a Boy Time podcast. I paired that with The Shape of Water. It's
Really?
two movies where people have sex with fish.
Oh man. I never have seen The Shape of Water, but I know it's an Oscar winner, Best Picture.
It's on my list. We'll watch it eventually.
Yeah.
It's probably the
Okay.
only Guillermo del Toro movie that we're going to watch.
I mean, we watched Pinocchio.
That's true. That's true.
Was that Guillermo? Yeah,
That
it
is-
was.
Yep.
Yeah, you and I watched that. But yeah, that's I haven't seen that one. But so many people make jokes about it.
It's really G dang good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. We'll have to watch that sometime.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we'll watch it.
Anyway, John Candy.
Yeah.
John Candy. Cool Runnings. That's another one I had a soundtrack for because I loved the reggae music and Cool Runnings.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Jamaica has a bobsled team. Yeah, there's a whole song. I'm gonna look that up on Spotify when we get off the call, and I'm gonna listen to that soundtrack because man, I had that thing on repeat when I was younger.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, okay. So they don't have it like officially, but someone has made a playlist of all of the songs that were used.
Does it have Jamaica has a bobsled team? Because that's the best song.
Oh, relax.
I think it's. Is Edna bothering you?
She's barking.
Oh.
Oh, geez. No, it doesn't.
I can't hear her.
Oh.
Oh, there. Now I heard her.
Hey, Edna.
It doesn't have Jamaica has a bobsled team?
No, it's just the songs.
Oh, well, that is the song. Oh, you mean just like the instrumentals, not the anything with lyrics?
Well, no, it's just like the songs that they used in the movie. I don't think, unless it's called something else. I don't know.
Shoot. Well, I could sing it for you, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, we'll get copyright striked.
That's right. Because I will sound so much like the original that they won't be able to tell the difference.
Exactly.
Because I don't have a man voice.
I see.
Anyway, okay.
I can see clearly now, and then in parentheses, Cool
That's a good one.
Runnings.
Yes,
So
that's a good one. That's a cover that they used for that. It was good. That actually ended up being a hit on the radio, actually.
Oh.
Which, it's a remake of an older song, but that version ended up being in the top 40 or whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, you'd have to look it up. I don't know if it's on Spotify.
I have a thought. Did we pick this because we were going through the no.
No,
because that would have been 2 episodes ago. I was thinking of like the comedy. Yeah.
I don't think it was on.
It is on there though. I forgot.
Oh, it is?
I think it is, but I don't remember where it was. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think so. Anyway.
That actually might have been it because I think you said like, I was looking at that list and saw this.
Oh, okay.
Because we looked at it. Was it for, what did we do before? Was it 9 to 5? We looked at that list and then you looked at the list. We did Rear Window and then you're like, I was looking at the AFI list and that's why we did.
Mm-hmm. I think so, maybe. I can't remember. Right. That's terrible. You're young. You should be able to remember things that I can't.
We recorded
you
that
usually
so long
catch
ago.
me on this stuff. It's true. And we had an extra week in between this time too. So
yeah, I don't remember anything.
That is true. Okay. Well, we just do the best we can.
Yeah. But we'll remember for next time we're doing My Neighbor Totoro. And
yes.
I think that's all that we have time for.
That's it.
The producers are yelling at me behind back there. To wrap it up.
Producer Edna's yelling at you to tell you it's time to go.
She is yelling.
Yes. Oh, okay. That sounds good. All right. Well, everyone, support your local library. And I always forget the order.
Doesn't matter.
I need to remember it's library and mom. Library and mom. Support your local library and call your mom.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.